Thank you if you were able to join our Tuesday stream. Marty and I streamed live from Miami. I just got home today. I do not have a tan. I never have a tan. I'm always hanging out in the shade. Someone complimented my shirt. Thank you. Raised on Wrestling. This is a collar and elbow shirt. Tuesday, we had ceviche at this restaurant, and it was very good, but it was so expensive, and it was like this big. It was like 4 pieces of fish. We're like, okay. Yeah, Miami is like, I really enjoyed Miami. I did. And actually, I've been to Miami before, but I feel like I enjoyed it so much more this time around. Like, I don't know. Miami is just sexy. Like, I just show up to Miami and you just start feeling sexy. I don't know what it is about the atmosphere, even when it's not even that hot outside. And I feel like we were in a sort of trendy, touristy area, but because it's winter, it wasn't like what you would picture. Like, if you picture like Miami, South Beach, people walking around in G-strings. Like, we didn't really get much of that, but it was a little cold for that. So maybe in the summertime they get that. Really liked the area. It's just, we are very like, we are balling on a budget in this household. You know what I mean? So we will spend money on experiences and food. Like, those are the things that we want to do. We want to travel. We want to eat good food. But we're also trying to be frugal while we're doing that. So like, I just think Miami was a little expensive. You know, it was a little bougie. That's the word I'm looking for. It was a little bougie for my taste. I'm pretty low maintenance. I'm a low maintenance gal. But it was also really nice. Like, one thing about Marty and I, or Marty and me, we always go through this. One thing about Marty and me, because I would say if it was just me, I would say one thing about me. I wouldn't say one thing about I. So it's not Marty and I. It's one thing about Marty and me is that we are going to have fun no matter where we go. We are going to have a good time. We are going to make the most of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where we are. It doesn't matter if we're in a bougie as area. It doesn't matter if we're in a ratchet as area. We are going to have a good time. MDB said that popping noise just gave me goosebumps in a good way or a bad way. It's not Marty and I. It's not Marty and I in that sentence. We go through this on the stream so much of what is the correct grammar when I'm not just saying us or our. I want to talk about Marty. I want to say her name, but I also want to mention me, myself. And the rule of thumb is that you take the other person out of the sentence, and however it should be without them, that's how you would say it with them. But you have to put them first. So it would be Marty and me. Because one thing about Marty and me is. Okay, anyway. We have to go through this like every quarter, I feel like. Millie said, I swear I'm going to ask one of the many English teachers in my family which is the correct way to phrase this and get back to you. Please do. Please do. I think I have it right. I really do. Dave said, Marty and Me sounds like a buddy trip movie. That would be a movie we would do. We would totally do a buddy trip movie. I just imagine you and Marty being stuck in a hostile movie type situation. Not hostile. My eye getting melted out with a fucking blowtorch. No, I'm good on that. Like, ain't no way I'm staying in a hostel. And it's not because I'm too good to stay in a hostel. It's because, like, I'm all about saving money, but I will rarely pick the lowest option because then you're sacrificing quality most of the time. And because of the movies Hostel, I don't think I will ever stay in a hostel if I can help it. If I can help it. When you are trying to go on vacation, my tip is, it really does depend on the area you're going to, but I think you should never pick the cheapest hotel you can find. Do like the next one up. Because same reason I just said. I feel like a lot of times the cheapest one, you are sacrificing quality. You're sacrificing potentially safety. If it's going to take booking the cheapest hotel you can find to do that dream vacation, I say do it. Do it. As long as you're safe. That would be my main concern. Like, make sure you're in a safe area, or I don't know, just make plans for your safety. Be aware, be alert, that type of thing. But most of the time, if I can help it, I'm never going to pick the cheapest option. I might do the next cheapest option, but I'm going to, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to have someone kidnap me and put a blowtorch to my face, basically, like the movie Hostel. That can happen anywhere, though. That's not just a cheap motel. Shit, I should post this vlog. to Patreon soon. I was actually saving it because I want to keep collecting videos over time, but I think I've been collecting videos on this for years now, and I think it's time to post it. It's basically welcome to the Shindies, and it's been random videos that I've collected over the years from like the of the promotions, and I don't name them, I don't think. It's more like just little clips of behind the scenes. It's just a big melting pot of random clips here and there, backstage, the hotels. There's a whole probably 5 to 10 minute section of me showing a literal Roach hotel that I was staying in, because that's where the venue, or not the venue, that's where the promoter put me, in a Roach hotel. I want to say Roach Motel. It kind of was a motel. Whatever. There were roaches. Cool, just a roach casually crossing the floor. No problem. Just go ahead. Literal roaches. I feel like I've stayed in the worst of the worst, for real. There's stains on the carpet. There's stains all over the chair. Disgusting. Disgusting. The fuck is on the wall? Disgusting. I'm not too good to be like, I would never do that. Like, I've stayed in some shitty ass places, but I would prefer not to. I really would. I just got into this room. Surprisingly, in almost 15 years, my 15-year wrestling anniversary is coming up, y'all, at the end of this month. In 1 week, in exactly 1 week, I will have been wrestling for 15 motherfucking years. I'm gonna have a midlife crisis. Okay, anyway, Scuba Stevo said, are you the grizzled vet now? Not grizzled quite yet. Not grizzled quite yet. But I do have a lot of shit to say, so I don't know. Some people might call that grizzled, but I call it experienced. Dave, that wasn't my first match. Is that what Cage Match says? Yeah, Cage Match is wrong. My first match was December 28th, 2008. Siobhan and the Baddest defeat AllysinKay and Tristan Parker, BCWA. Those are the two most random matches Lee! How the fuck do you constantly jump scare me? Why did that just scare the shit out of me? I thought it was an alarm. I was like, is that a smoke detector going off in my house? What the Thank you for the sound alert, Lee. Dave said, it says you only wrestled 2 times in 2009. Yeah, that's not true. But what were we talking about? Oh, that I'm surprised that hasn't happened to me more. But no, I've stayed in some real shows. The Brandon Motor Lodge. The Brandon Motor Lodge in Brandon, Florida. That was a motel. We would have at least 4 girls per room. So that's like 2, full-size beds. And you got 2 girls per bed. But still, 4 girls in a room with 4 of our bags. And at that time, we probably only had 1 bag each. But like, I don't know, sometimes people bring multiple bags. That is a tight space. That is a very tight space. And the sheets were like paper thin. Not even the sheets. The comforter was like paper thin. Oh my gosh. But you know, we out here. We doing a damn thing. And it's funny because like, those memories to me now I'm fond of those memories because, I don't know, builds character, I guess. And I built so many relationships with those girls. We're all like basically bunking together and hanging out with each other. And we would go out and hang out in the city together after Shine. And like, I loved those weekends so much. Like the first 2 or 3 years of Shine were the best. Casey said, y'all had to share beds? No, I would have taken the floor. I have shared beds with so many random people, all because of wrestling, and it is so normal. Sometimes I'll say to Marty, like, how weird is it to explain to our family some of the shit that we do? It's not even the wrestling part. Like, wrestling is already weird enough, but then we're like, yeah, I landed in this city. Not sure who was picking me up when I went to the airport, but I landed and I was like, hey, I'm here. And then he's like, okay, this random guy's coming to get you. Okay, get in this guy's truck. I don't even know who the he is. I'm meeting this person for the first time. Like, this is weird. This is very weird. Adrian said, how often does that go bad though? It depends on what you define as bad. I definitely have had some experiences in people's cars where I was like, having a come to Jesus moment, you know, where I'm like, wow, I'm never doing this again. I've had people in my car that I felt obligated to say, yes, I can give you a ride. And literally on the drive going, I'm never going to talk to this person again. That's just who I am. If you're like, look, I think I'm weird. I think I like weird, certain types of weird, but weird is such a vague term. There are levels to weird. And like when your weird starts to get like inappropriate, uncomfortable, You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, you're cut off. I'm never speaking to you again. But yeah, I've had some experiences. Dave said, imagine if those WSU drives got recorded. Oh my gosh, it'd be me, Jessica Havoc, Sassy Steffi in a car for the most part. That's how we ended up being put together as the Midwest Militia, because we actually were just driving together. And sometimes we had other people in the car. Like one time Athena came with us, and I think she was like doing AIW the night before, and that's why she ended up jumping in our car. And yeah, we had a lot of fun trips. A lot of scary trips too. I remember so many of those WSU trips driving back. So it's like driving from Jersey or New York, depending on where WSU was at the time, driving home, and we would drive home the same night. So we'd wrestle and then get in the car and drive home, because a lot of us had to work the next day or whatever it was. Like it was a long drive. We had to get home so everyone could get to whatever they needed to do on time. And once we got to Ohio, I still had like a 3 or 4 hour drive back to Detroit. So it's like we would drive all that way from New York and New Jersey to Ohio, and then I still had more drive to do by myself. And there were times where like we're driving, it's nighttime now since we're driving right after the show. There was a blizzard. It might still actively be snowing. It's where you have to drive in the person in front of you's tracks to make sure your car doesn't start, you know, it's like that type of snow. The snow's just coming down. You can't see. There's semis on the road. You have to follow the person's like lights in front of you. You're hoping that someone is in front of you because you can't really see. So you're like following their taillights. If you've ever done that before, you understand how terrifying that is. Like performing in front of people and whatever, being judged and being criticized. No, doing those drives, that was terrifying. Thank you so much for selling out our hex calendars, y'all. I'm going to show you actually. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to show you. Ruff said, I love November. We've been getting a lot of compliments on November. I will eventually post this to Instagram because I love this picture so much. We took this in my backyard. This is our little fake JCPenney photo shoot. Real Mr. Payne said, I'm a terrible traveler. I always sleep like same. I mean, I'm not a terrible traveler, but I always sleep like so I don't know that that necessarily makes you a terrible traveler. Maybe traveling is uncomfortable for you, but to me, a terrible traveler is someone who, what's a terrible traveler to me? Someone I would never want to travel with. It would be the opposite of Marty. We were just talking about how much we love traveling together. Someone who can't go with the flow. Someone who's going to get very upset about like little things. Like, oh, there's a delay. Like, I don't know. Someone who just lets their whole mood get ruined by little things. It's just not fun to be around, especially like if there's a delay or a cancellation. You're already pissed off. You don't want to then deal with someone else who's now more pissed off and they're like, I don't know. Preferably not someone who's too picky of an eater. Like I can deal with a little bit, but someone who's just like can't eat anywhere and you're just like I have preferences, but when it comes down to it, I will eat to survive. I'm not going to let us all go hangry for hours because I'm like, no, we have to go to this place. Like at the end of the day, I'll be like, no, we're going to get something now so we don't kill each other. Let's get something now to hold us over. You know what I mean? I love traveling with people who, I shouldn't even say people because I feel like the majority of it is traveling with Marty. So really it's not like people, it's more like a person. But like when we travel together, we're just chill. We're very, very go with the flow, fly by the seat of our pants. Marty is more of a picky eater than I am, but she's still not like she will find something. If we decide on a place, you know, she's going to find something. Hannah said, I can't travel with people who need to have every second of the trip planned out. That part. So that was a huge thing for us in Miami to not do that. And I made sure because we're never like that anyway, really. But I did tell Marty before, I was like, I just want to set the expectation. I'm planning on not planning. Like, I don't want to do anything really. If we get there, like, of course, I'm going to bring like a nice dress. I'm going to bring like a cute pair of shoes just in case we decide to go out. But my plans for this trip is to just chill, sit on the beach. Like, of course, we're going to walk around, we're going to eat. But, like, that's why I wanted to make sure I got somewhere we could walk. We didn't need a car. We could walk around to get food, whatever we needed. There was a CVS nearby. Perfect. For, like, snacks and whatever else we needed. Sunscreen, all that stuff. Yeah, I have never been the type of person who needs to plan out an itinerary. However, I will say I have been on one trip that I can think of in particular where it was like a big group trip and there was one person who kind of planned everything and had an itinerary and I didn't hate it. I can also go with I really feel like I will just make do wherever I am. But I could also see where it's like, damn, I just want to chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to have to go out and do this random ass activity when you're exhausted. It's nice when you can just relax when you want to relax. You can go out when you want to go out. And for this particular trip, it was, for the one that I'm talking about where the girl planned the itinerary, it wasn't bad, but it was also like somewhere I had never been. And it was kind of like a little like bougie area. So I was just like, sure, show me around. And it was fun. I liked it. But yes, this Miami trip, no itinerary. Kai said, I'm a snack person, stop very seldomly on trips. I'll have like a week's worth of groceries and snacks and beverages for no reason. No, that's for a good reason. That's not for no reason. So on road trips, I am the type of person who I am doing a straight shot. And it's because of my years on the road traveling for wrestling. Like when I stop, I want to do a multitasking stop. Like I'm not stopping until I have to either pee, I have to get food, get gas, get coffee, preferably all four. There are times where I'm like, all right, I'm hungry, but I don't need to get gas yet. I still have 100 miles till I need to get gas. I'm just going to keep going. Like I need at least 2 of the 4. I need to knock out at least 2 of those things in order to stop. Usually it's peeing and gas. Those are like priority because those are the things that you're not going to be able to continue if you don't take care of them. Being hangry is one thing, but having to pee is another, and also needing gas, obviously. You need to do that or you're not going anywhere. But yes, I will go as far as I can before I stop. Thankfully, when I go on like my family little vacations every year, we've been driving the past couple years and they're on the same page as me, and that's usually why I drive too. Because I'm like, no. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to show you how to travel efficiently. Dave, I can pee in the car. Physically, yes, I could. I wouldn't recommend it. I need to get one of those funnels. I'm actually surprised that I've never gotten one of those, that I've never invested in one, and that no one's ever gifted me one of those funnels for peeing. I cannot imagine like using it though, because it's a funnel that you pee in. It's like it looks like a little like banana seat, right? On a bike. You put it on your crotch and then you pee, but I feel like it's to pee on the side of the road, not to like pee while you're driving. Jael Vega said, can I ask you something crazy without being judged? I cannot guarantee that you will not be judged. You are on speakerphone, my friend. Oh, this conversation. Sheets. Or Wawa. I will set up for Wawa too. Because you can do all those. And at Sheets, you can get food, you can go pee, and you can get gas, and you can get coffee. Like all 4 in one? A one-stop shop? Yeah, I think Buc-ee's has nice bathrooms too. I just... usually when I'm driving, it's up in the Midwest and the East Coast, so I don't really hit up Buc-ee's too often. Just wear a diaper? I don't think it's that serious. I really don't think it's that serious. If somebody was like, hey, I'm getting a diaper for this road trip, I'd be like, are you planning on murdering someone? Like, why the f would you need a diaper? Why do you have a pack of diapers and several cans of gas? Like, what are you planning on doing? That'd be my first thought is, oh, you're trying to not stop because you're doing something f***ed up. Okay, Jody Arias, calm down. Kai said, it all depends. Sometimes I do wonder how many people will recognize us and won't say anything. Like at Cupid's Undie Run, when there was a guy in a lucha mask and my friend was like, who was not a wrestler, she's like, oh my gosh, go take a picture with him. And she's like, come over here, like telling him, come over here. Because she's like, oh my gosh, he's like a wrestler guy. And then as we're taking the picture, he was like, are you AllysinKay? And I just started laughing. But like, had he seen me across the room, he might not have come over and said anything. You know, he might have just been like, oh, and then moved on with his life. We did talk about that because we talked about approaching wrestlers in general. Dave said, I mean, polite people wouldn't want to bother you. You're not bothering me. If you want to come say hello, that is not bothering me at all. I would not be bothered by that. As long as you're not, I think the only time is if, I'm just thinking about like, as long as you're not giving me the Jeff Hardy treatment where you're trying to make me sign 75 things at an airport, then I'd be like, oh, hell no. Not for free. He's on a different level though. That's one thing I would say. If you do see someone with their hood up and they're trying to be incognito, then obviously they're not in a mood to be approached. So I would avoid them at that time. But also I think just going up saying hello, I don't think that's a big deal. That's just me personally. Like if you're just saying hi, I love your work, whatever it is, and you keep it short. And then, especially like at the airport, like people are on very tight schedules, you know? Or if they're eating or something, you know, I don't know. I, of course, would not mind someone being nice to me, you know what I'm saying? Saying kind words. You know, do it in front of my family so I can really flex on them. Dave said, what if you go into a public bathroom, get in a stall, and hear, hey, are you AllysinKay? Well, if I just sat on the toilet, that would be a little awkward. That just scared. Why do I keep getting scared on the stream? Say hi, Pete.